Good afternoon, viewer. Corey Anderson here. I got a message from a subscriber. Her name was Ashley Lane, and I want to thank Ashley for letting me know that Chapter 11 from the Instant Millionaire is not up. So I'm going to take the time right now to record a new one for you guys. It's been about 7, probably close to 8 months since we made our recordings for this book. And it's amazing. It's amazing how long it's been already. And we still have our daily affirmation that we are the lights of the world. It's it's something I still repeat to myself every day, because that is who we are. Remember those affirmations, because in a world constantly trying to change who you are, the best thing to ever accomplish in this world is still being who you really are. I know there was a quote, I believe it was by Emerson, that he said that the greatest accomplishment that any person can ever make is being themselves in a world that is constantly trying to change who they are. And what we remember from this book, it's about goal setting. It's the instant millionaire, having that instant millionaire mindset. What do millionaires do? They have more than just dreams. They don't just sit there and think about their dreams. They write them down in a goal. They set a deadline. They say, hey, this is what I want and this is what I'm going to do. And they take action to make it happen. I don't know if I ever shared this in my Instant Millionaire video, but thinking. When you think of something, thoughts are the first level of creation. You have to first think of doing something before you actually do it. Okay, and then words are thoughts expressed. Okay, words are the second level of creation, because they are putting everything you have in here out into symbols. Okay, and then other people are able to take that and understand where you are in here by what you are expressing out here. And lastly, there is actions, the third level of creation. You have to take action. So, whatever your dreams are, take action, write them down on a sheet of paper, and move towards them. So, Chapter 11, well, let me see what page that is. 75. Wow, this is amazing. I remember last time I moved my room around since the last time I did my videos. Before I was making them on the other corner of my room. Okay. So let us get started. Chapter 11, in which the young man and his mentor discuss figures and formulas. The millionaire sat down at the desk and invited the young man to join him. He took out some paper and a pen and wrote some figures. Your formula could look like this, he said. What he had written was, by the end of this year I will possess assets worth $31,250. I will double those assets every year for 5 years, so that and here he left the space, basically saying, by this time I will be a millionaire. You mustn't confuse assets and income, he told the young man. Your assets are whatever you have left after your current bills and taxes are paid. Assets can comprise real estate investments, stocks or bonds, savings in banks or mutual funds, gold, art, jewelry, valuable collectibles, and so on. Now, if you want to be a millionaire in 6 years, which is the realistic objective I'm proposing, your formula will have to be set up in this model. If you have assets worth $31,250 by the end of the first year, you will have to double them each year, and in 6 years you will be a millionaire. So assets, he's saying assets are what you have left over after you pay your bills, after you pay your taxes, after you do everything that you need to do. Okay, what you have left over is your assets. Okay, what are you doing with the money you have left over? Okay, are you investing it into something that will give you something more, that will give you something back? That is what he is saying right here. Assets can comprise real estate investments, stocks or bonds, savings in banks or mutual funds, gold, art, jewelry, valuable collectibles, and so on. These things are assets that you can invest your money in to get things back out of. When you have money, If you don't save your money, there's this guy that I've been listening to. His name is Dr. John DeMartini, and he talks about the importance of saving money. Okay, if you don't save your money, you're going to be working for money your entire life, and you don't have money saved up to invest to double that money by, you know, putting it somewhere else so you could get something out of it. Okay, if you're not investing it, you're going to be working for money your entire life. You need to learn how to make money work for you. We need to learn how to make money work for us, which is what we have been doing for these last 6, 7, 8 months. And in 6 years, you will be a millionaire. Why double your assets each year? Because it's a single operation that your subconscious can easily handle, and it's easy for you to remember. It also guarantees you constant growth. Doubling it every year allows you to maintain a handle on it. Okay, not putting too much in, not getting too much back, not putting enough in, not getting enough back. Okay, you need to learn how to balance it. A single operation that your subconscious can easily handle. And it also guarantees constant growth, consistent. If this starting point seems too ambitious for you, then give yourself another year. Becoming a millionaire in 7 years is still pretty good. Your goal for the first year will then to have assets of $15,626. Believe me when I tell you, it's far from being beyond reach. If you're convinced that you have a cozy nest egg worth $15,625 by the end of the first year, you will have it. Now, if that still seems overambitious, give yourself yet another year, making a total of 8. Then the goal for the first year will be $7,812.50. Along with your formula and the affirmation, I will be a millionaire on, and then in quotes, put the month and year in 6, 7, or 8 years' time, in quote, or parentheses, as you shall say. You will also have to set yourself short-term objectives, landmarks, to help motivate you during your journey on the road to riches, and an annual goal is essential. So, long-term goals and short-term goals. Your long-term goals should be over the course of 6, 7, 8 years. Okay, like he's saying, we're going to focus on doubling our assets, what we have left over the next 6, 7, or 8 years, so we can help and have money work for us instead of us continuously going out and working for it. And it's also important to have short-term goals. Okay, keep you motivated along the way. Like, hey, like, okay, I've reached 5,000 in I don't know, let's say 3 months. Okay, I reached $5,000 in 3 months. That's 6,000 in 6 months. Okay, at the end of the year, that's going to give me at least $12,000 in total. Okay, and $12,000 in total, with $7,812 being the goal of, you know, what we save. Okay, of course, the majority of people make more than $12,000. So whatever you're making every year, okay, make sure that you take care of everything you need, and the money that you are saving, do your best to invest in the things so you can get it back. Okay, it'll come back to you twice-fold without you having to work for it. The most important thing, however, he told his pupil, is to write your goals down on paper. Take a pencil and fool around with figures and years. Don't be afraid. It can't do you any harm. The amounts will become more and more familiar as you play around with them. Millions of people want to get rich, and yet not one out of 100 takes the initiative to outline the route he intends to take to reach his goal. Be different. Set up your plans and charts. Work out your projections until you've found the plan that suits you. It'll be your plan. Use the examples I provided for inspiration, but then let your imagination run wild. You have to start by dreaming to get rich. Then you have to know how to quantify your dreams and translate it into specific sums of money and dates. And one thing I want to add, let's not let our imagination just run wild. Okay, we have to keep control over our imagination. Okay, we have to make sure that our dreams and goals are not only you know, whatever it is that we want to do, but it has to be attainable. Okay, you have to go around doing it in ways that allow you to get it done. Okay, you can't just go out there and just make it happen. Okay, you have to have a definite plan to follow. You have to have a system. Okay, use your imagination to build that system. Okay, that is what our imagination is for. Remember when we talked about the imagination in other videos. Okay, this camera that I'm speaking to you guys on first existed in somebody's imagination. It was only a thought form. It was an image that they had in their mind. And you know what? They took action on that idea that they had. And by them taking action, now I have a camera to where I can make this video and share this with you. Okay, you must do the same thing. Okay, you must build those mental pictures of your dreaming to get rich. You must see yourself with the riches. But you also have to make a plan. Okay, this is where I am now. Okay, this is what I need next, and this is what I need to go to get. Okay, and then from there, those are how your short-term goals come into play. Okay, short-term, what do I need next to make this big-term goal a reality? Then you have to know how to quantify your dreams and translate it into specific sums of money and dates. This, in fact, should be the first exercise you do. Juggle numbers. You will soon see that this little game will reveal who you really are. This simple act of putting your goals, deadlines, and sums on paper is the first step towards transforming your ideal into its material equivalent. Anyone who wants to stick to an ambition of becoming a millionaire in 5 or 10 years must take note of this fact. If he is currently earning $35,000 a year and can expect nothing more than, say, an annual 5 or 10% raise, and if he can save and invest only a small percentage of that, then he'll never become a millionaire if he remains in his job without sideline activities. There's nothing reprehensible, okay, without sideline activities. Okay, remember how we were just talking about assets, our assets, the money we have left over after everything we paid for. Okay, what are we doing with those assets? Okay, are you putting it in investments so you can get money back? Because he will never become a millionaire if he remains in his job without sideline activities, without investing. There's nothing reprehensible in this. It's purely an objective observation. The formula of doubling your fortune each year or increasing your assets with respect to the previous years is clearly not the only way to become a millionaire. However, the secret it contains, that is, a quantified goal, an amount and a deadline by which to reach it, is valid for anyone wishing to succeed in any way. For example, you might simply want to increase your income by $10,000 a year. If you now earn $35,000, you would probably like to earn $45,000, no matter of affording a few more luxuries. Or perhaps you are earning $45,000 and would like to earn $55,000 to enable you to trade up from your present house without worrying about the extra mortgage payments. Or you might want to be able to afford a new car, one that is a little more luxurious. To do this, simply repeat to yourself, this year I will increase my income by $10,000 and I will earn $45,000. You don't need to know how you'll manage it. You simply have to realize that if all you can hope for is a 10% annual pay raise in your present job, and you don't want to moonlight, you will have to land a promotion or switch jobs to reach your goal. And there is one thing that I want to say, and I'm more than positive I had gone over this on my older videos, that this formula does not just work for making lots of money. Okay, if you want to be a millionaire, then yes, this formula is going to help you out big time, because when you constantly repeat it to yourself that, hey, this is what I want, okay, you're continuously going to urge that within yourself to move towards that direction. Okay, this is where I want to go. Okay, every day you're going to be thinking about it. This is where I want to go. But not everybody wants to be a millionaire. Not everybody wants to make hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars. Okay, yes, people want that, to have that financial freedom, but that's not everybody's life goal. Okay, some people's life goals are inspiring people, some people's life goals are motivating people and helping people to inspire them to educate themselves and to take the initiative to learn what needs to be learned themselves for them to take on their dreams and goals and ambitions that they so think about every single day. This may appear self-evident, but thousands of people hope to improve their material situation and do absolutely nothing about it. You must take action. Is this ignorance? Is it because they are basically satisfied with their situations even though they complain day in and day out? Once you've discovered that you need some kind of change in your life to reach your goals, you might find yourself thinking that you have no other possibilities in sight. And you might wonder how the devil you're going to earn that extra $10,000 that you need. Don't worry, this isn't a serious dilemma. Just fully permeate your consciousness with your goal, dully written down stating such and such an amount and deadline. Your unconscious will do the rest, or in other words, subconscious. Okay, look what he says here. Just fully permeate your unconsciousness with your goal every day, thinking about it. Okay, remember what we learned about suggestion and auto-suggestion. Okay, when you're self-suggesting things, you're affirming it. Okay, that is your affirmations, your own self-suggestions. Okay, and the more you affirm it, the more it becomes an habitual way of thinking, because you're continuously thinking about that thought. And eventually, you don't even need to think about it anymore. Okay, it's just something that happens automatically. It becomes who you are, because as you think about it and you continuously move in that direction, you become that as you move along. And when it becomes subconscious, that's when it becomes your character. Okay, that's when it becomes just an habitual thing that you do. Okay, and when it's subconscious, that's how it has to become subconscious, so it becomes automatic. Okay, so then our self-conscious mind has the ability to go on and do other things. Okay, but the thing itself from the beginning is still as intelligent as before. Okay, in other words, while it's subconscious, it has the same intelligence as when you were thinking about it every single day. Okay, now that you don't need to think about it anymore, and it's just a part of who you are, it's still just as powerful as when it was continuously on your mind. Okay, that sounded a little bit more clear. Okay, let us continue. Your unconscious will do the rest. Then just stay on your toes, since you've become aware that things won't get better on their own. When an opportunity arises, seize it without the slightest hesitation. Don't let yourself be paralyzed by fear, which prevents so many people from living out their dreams. You know that by doing nothing, you won't get your raise, so you mustn't hesitate to take the steps necessary to achieve your goal. Currently programmed, your unconscious will work wonders for you. If you've issued it the order to increase your income by $10,000, it will definitely execute it. Remind it daily, so your mission becomes its magnificent obsession. Like a remote control missile, it will overcome all the obstacles in its way to hit its target. And what is this target? He continued. When must the explosion take place? The target is $10,000, and the explosion date is a year from now. Such are the magical powers of the unconscious and the quantified objective. When creating your objectives, keep in mind that most people are much too cautious. They don't believe they're worth anything. A few years ago, he whispered confidentially to the young man, I was thinking of hiring a managing director for one of my companies. I worked out that I'd be ready to offer him a salary of $100,000. When the time came to discuss his salary, he told me in a rather nervous, almost imperious voice, I won't accept anything below $70,000. After a lengthy pause, I said, as if I was making a major concession, given your background, $70,000 is fine by me. If he had asked for $80,000 or $90,000, I'd give it to him. In fact, the way the interview had gone pleased me so much, I might have even bumped that amount up to $120,000. So the person I took on lost himself at least $30,000 in a matter of minutes. That is a lot of money. And he lost it simply because he didn't believe he was worth $100,000. Wow. And you know what? That's a big drama which is happening with the majority of people nowadays. Okay, they don't believe that they are worth that. They don't believe that they deserve that. And it's that self-belief which blocks them from getting their own good. Okay, remember, you were created in the image of likeness of God, you know, the universal consciousness. Okay, you have the ability to create your own life. Okay, you could literally do anything you desire to do. The only thing standing in between where you are now and where you want to be is a bunch of work. That's all it is. And the more you work towards it, I guarantee you, the more confidence you will build within yourself. Okay, and you'll become more and more powerful within yourself, and you're just going to keep moving towards that direction regardless of what anybody else says or what it happens or in any circumstances you may find yourself in. Because remember, we are in control of our circumstances, okay? We are in control of our environment, okay? Not completely, because there are other creators that exist in this realm with us, but we're always in control of how we feel, we're always in control of what we think, and we're always in control of the actions that we take, okay? And then when we're with other creators, we create together, okay? Man, I like talking about that stuff. Actually, I love talking about that stuff. He was in the best position to assess his own worth, and he was telling me that his managerial skills were only worth $70,000, while I was looking for someone worth $100,000. Was I making the wrong choice? The future proved that I'd made the right choice by hiring him, and I saved a lot of money. His problem was that he lacked self-confidence and underestimated his own worth. He gradually dealt with this problem over the years, and it cost me a bundle in salary increases, but they were worth it. What you should remember from this simple example is that I dealt with this manager just as a life deals with any of us, with each of us. Life gives us exactly what we expect from it, no more, no less. We tend to forget, however, that it is generally ready to give us as much more than we realize, okay? The universe wants you to have what you want. In fact, the universe wants you to have what you want more than you even want it. Oh, my buddy's calling me. I'll call him back right after. Because we're in the middle of growing ourselves. We're in the middle of rereading this chapter. And you know, I actually remember reading all of this, and I think I may have actually accidentally deleted it when I was going over my videos. Where were we? I've talked a lot, said the millionaire. What do you make of all this, young man? It seems too good to be true, he said. Yet this simple little method and no other, the millionaire responded, is exactly what helped turn me into a millionaire, and has done the same for all those I've shared it with. As I've said, words are extremely powerful agents. The stronger your character becomes, the more the words you utter will become genuine decrees. Everything you affirm, fueled by deep inner conviction and strengthened by the fires of repetition, will take shape more and more quickly. You have to do the exercise. Nobody can do it for you. You must repeat your formula aloud day and night at least 50 times, and more if you can, even 100 times a day. This is an exercise in itself. The first few times I lay down and counted by tapping my fingers on the floor, 5 times with bottom hands, or with both hands. It takes practice. At first you'll find it won't be easy. The mind is prone to wonder. After repeating it 10 times, you'll start thinking of something else. And that is one thing that I also want to talk about, the mind, okay? Your mind is like a child, okay? It's always looking for the next thing to analyze. That is why we need to take the time to meditate daily, take the initiative to do the things necessary to help us bring ourselves back centered, okay? Because this thing, as it's constantly moving along, Sometimes it gets to the point where it's just doing things by itself without us always having a conscious attention behind it. Okay, that is why it's very important for us to always bring ourselves back centered, so we're always consciously aware of what is going on and where our mind is going. Okay, remember, you are in control of your mind. Okay, mind is your tool. It is the thing which you use to create. Okay, if you're not in control of your mind, chances are something else just might be. Okay, and you don't want that, because you are here to create your own life. We're not here to be a product of somebody else's creation. After repeating it 10 times, you'll start thinking of something else. Bring your mind back to business and start at 0 again until you manage to reach 50. Because if you can't stick to such an elementary form of discipline, you'd better give up your dream of becoming rich. That's the challenge I'm offering you, my young friend, and I know you can do it. All you need to do is persist. There is one thing that I want to add on to that. Okay, if you cannot stick to such an elementary form of discipline, if you can't even control your own thinking, okay, you'd better give up on your dreams of becoming rich. Okay, remember, it is an ancient text that we must be something before we can have something. Okay, if you want to be a millionaire, you have to be a millionaire first. Okay, riches comes to the man who is wealthy internally. Okay, wealth comes to the man who is wealthy internally, who has a character of wealth, who has built himself up to reach the next level of consciousness. Okay, that's what life. Remember, life is made inside and out of consciousness. Okay, and wherever an individual is in here is what's going to be expressed in his life. Okay, remember, the only people are only separated by consciousness, space and time. Even if we might be standing next to each other, we may be in totally different worlds compared to where we are in here. That's the challenge I'm offering you, my young friend, and I know you can do it. All you need to do is persist. Why repeat the formula aloud? It affects your mind even more strongly. Remember how we were just talking about the power of words, the second level of creation. The order you are issuing to your unconscious seems as though it is coming from the outside, and thus sounds more commanding. Say it in a monotone, like an incantation or a mantra, as the Buddhists call it. And for those of you who don't know what a mantra means mind tools. Okay, they're basically tools that you're using for your mind in order to strengthen your mind. Okay, and those of you who don't know what meditation is, okay, meditation helps bring your mind and your body and your spirit into alignment. Okay, and there's these things called as Biha mantras. Okay, and the Biha mantras resonate with the frequencies, as you will, or the vibrations of your 7 chakras. Okay, your 7 energy centers within the body. Okay, and as you repeat this Biha mantras, okay, remember how we just said, an instrument of thought. Okay, you are resonating with the energy of that chakra, giving it more life and power, basically empowering yourself, as the Buddhists call it. In time, the formula will require its own life. At first, you might feel a little embarrassed by the sound of your voice and by the formula you are repeating, but gradually you will get used to it. The goal you laid out for yourself, which seems audacious at first, will soon appear attainable, even easy to achieve. I'm afraid I might feel absolutely ridiculous. It's during those moments especially that you must persist. You must conquer your doubt. Think of me, living proof. Even if I'm in a garden far from here, my forces will be with you. In your moments of doubt, remember that I have given you my word. You will succeed. You are sure about that? Asked the young man, still not totally convinced. Why would I have any doubts about it? You'll become an instant millionaire like I did. It's only a matter of time before you become a millionaire in reality. You will soon be one in your mind. And that's what is most important. It must first happen in here. The instant millionaire. What do millionaires do? They take their dreams and write them down in goals, okay? Becoming an instant millionaire, which is exactly what we are doing here. We are bringing it into our mind, okay? We're obtaining the mindset of a millionaire, and that's what is most important. Even without a penny to my name, keep repeating the formula. Little by little, you will see a change occurring within you. Your goal will seem more and more natural. It'll become part of your life in just the same way that the narrow image you have had of yourself until now, a well-worn figment of your imagination, has been an integral part of your being. You know, a little bit more about the imagination. I know I talked about Neville Goddard, and I actually have a quote written by him on my wall. And he says, Nothing appears or continues in being by power of its own. Okay, events happen because comparatively and stable imaginal activities created them, and they continue in being only as long as they receive such support. Okay, they continue as the creation starts by you first imagining, okay? You first building the picture within your own mind, okay? Remember how we just said it here. It will soon be one in your mind, okay? And that's where it has to start. It has to start in here, okay? And you have to take action on that image. You have to take action on what you have on your mind, okay? Remember this camera. It was first an idea in somebody's mind, and they took action on it, and now it's here in form, and now I'm recording on it. Okay, because you will see a change occurring within you. Your goal will seem more and more natural. It'll become a part of your life because you have become the person necessary to make that a part of your life. You must be something before you can have. It'll become part of your life in just the same way that the narrow image you have had of yourself until now, a well-worn figment of your imagination. And what did Neville Goddard just say about the imagination? That things are created only because comparatively unstable imaginal activities created them. Okay, and creation continues only as long as that thing receives such support, only as long as you continue to move in that direction. Okay, a well-worn figment of your imagination has been an integral part of your being. What your mind conjured up in the past can be reformulated, so you will be able to mold your future in the way you want it. You will at last become master of your own destiny. Isn't that our secret dream, even before we admit it's possible, to become the master of our own destiny? You are the master of... I can't remember who says it, but I am the master of my ship. I am the captain of my soul. Okay, I am that I am. I am the formless awareness of being, conceiving myself to be man. Okay, by my everlasting law of being, I am compelled to be and to express all that I believe myself to be. Okay, it has become an integral part of your being. What your mind conjured up in the past can be reformulated, so you will be able to mold your future the way you want it. Okay, in the same way you created everything in the past, it's going to take the same way you create everything in the future. And how did you create everything in your past? By your thinking, by your mental attitude. Okay, attitude of mind. Okay, what do we learn by Earl Nightingale about attitude? Okay, it is a man's attitude which creates his environment. Okay. And what is attitude? Attitude is the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. All these constitute attitude. The young man agreed and was overwhelmed with emotion at the prospect of mastering his destiny. The old man's words had much greater significance than he had at first believed. Of course his methods were a bit strange, but perhaps they worked. And that'll be the end of chapter 11. And it is Thursday the 11th, and it's August. I believe it was either December or the beginning of January when I had made this book. Wow, that's like 8-9 months ago. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit more about me now. I know when I started reading this book, I just started working at LA Fitness. I'm no longer working at LA Fitness. I worked there for about 8 months, where we actually became our own independent contractors. I train my clients outside of a gym now. I have my I already registered my name. I haven't got it published yet. I'm still in the process of that. I'm still in the process of actually getting my business started, but I have the whole beginning things taken care of. Like I have my name, I have my folders. You know, I even have a thing that I go to when when I meet with new clients, that when you build a report, you have to find their why. Okay, what is their motive? What brought them to you? Okay, why did they come to you? What are they looking for? Okay, what is their why? Okay, next you have to find out what they want. Okay, what do they want out of you? Okay, what do they want to accomplish? Okay, why are they here in the first place, and what do they want out of it? Okay, next you have to explain the benefits of what you have. Okay, like, okay, this is why you're here, this is what you want, this is how I could help you get there. Okay, like that. You have to help build an urgency. Okay, this is very important. Okay, we have to get started now. Okay, you know the energy you're feeling right now to get started, you have to get started now and ride that energy. You have to ride that wave, because it might not be here tomorrow, it might not be here a week from now. Next, we have to get commitment. Okay, we have to get them to be committed to the decision. Okay, this is what we're going to meet now, this is our time, okay, this is what we're going to do. Okay, we have to be committed. Okay, there's a reason why you started, now let's get through it together. I'm here to help you, and we're going to get there. Then next you go over the cost of your packages, your material, how much it's going to be to actually require your service. And then lastly, closing them, getting the sale. Okay, that's a part of it. I created a workout for one of my clients. You can see right here, it's a 1-month plan. I create my plan specifically catering to my client's needs, because one client's goal is not the same as their spouse's. So each of them would be getting their own personal plan, because they have different muscle imbalances, they have different goals, and they have different like I said, movements. They have different movements and different goals, so they're because of that, they're going to be given different exercises. And I created this for my client earlier. I talked to her today. I asked her if she got the things necessary for her to do this, because she's going to need to make a small investment. All she's going to need to get is a stability ball, which is and for her size, she's going to be getting the 55 centimeters, which is only like $10 at Walmart, and resistance bands. I told her to invest in the 3 for the easy resistance bands, the medium resistance bands, and the more challenging resistance bands. Okay, it's very important to have all 3, which you get for like $15, possibly I'm sure they have one at Walmart too. My first one, I have my notes, like my equations for finding out body mass index, my equations for finding out maximal heart rate, the Carvenin methods, the circumference measurements, where they're going to be measured at, okay, skin fold measurements, okay, the recommended fat percentages, okay, when they get their skin fold measurements, okay, and the fat percentage that you get from them, okay, here's the scale and list to where, where they're placed at, whether they need to lose weight, whether they need to gain a little bit, all that. My second one, I have a thing of my certificate, so they could see, I'm NASM certified, this is where I went. I even have my website up. Here's also a page for my transformations, a little bit of work I've done, these are a handful of the clients that I've worked with, and right now I just have 4 on here. I have 6 before and after pictures total, but I only wanted 1 page to be printed. And next we have, for our next one, we have our Part Q, which is a physical activity readiness questionnaire. We go over that with our clients. It's very, very crucial that we do that, because it is during that we see more about, into their life. Okay, are they taking medicines? Okay, do they have any chronic illnesses? Okay, what type of work do they do? Do they wear heels all the time? Are they constantly sitting? Okay, because people who sit a lot, they get a lot of back pain. They have a tight back. Okay, their abs aren't as tight. They're loose. Okay, so when that happens, you have to lengthen the lower back, okay, stretch it out, and you have to tighten your abdominals, so you could have more of a, so your muscles won't be imbalanced. Okay. Next is a data results sheet. We get our client's heart rate, we find out their estimated training zones, we get their blood pressure, their BMI score. I have my stethoscope with my blood pressure thing right there on my counter. I don't know if you can really see it from here. I also have my resistance bands that I use to put them through a test. Take their circumference measurements, do their cardio assessment, and here's the paper to where I write their plans on. Or I don't know if you can see it from there, but I just did that I had just showed you. So, and yeah, that's what we have so far. And as of right now, we're training Pam, Miss Panakun. We took her physical her Part Q. We took her data results sheet, and we also had her sign a waiver. Okay, for those of you who do go out independent, it's very, very important that you have your clients sign a contract, okay, a waiver form saying that you went over everything and they agree to whatever it is that you went over, okay. It's very, very crucial, and you have to keep these records. Okay, and we also have our receipt papers. When they purchase a package, we write them their receipt, we give them their copy, and we also have our copy, which is here in their personal folder file. And like I said, I have my website up. I don't have a domain name yet. It's just a simple Wix site that I created for free. And soon I will, though, because this is the beginning of a new journey for us. I went through my stage at LA Fitness, and it's so funny, and I want to share it with you. There was a member there. Her name was Miss TJ, and she had told me that I'm just here passing through, that I'm just here to apply everything that I've learned, and God has a bigger plan for me. Like, she told me this, and that was like 6 months ago, and now I'm here doing it independently. Yeah, it's amazing. And with that being said, we can't forget our daily affirmation that we are the lights of the world, you and me, and together we can make a difference. Okay, and with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you on the other side of the galaxy, and take care.